Yay is set to join Evil Geniuses and play with a new roster in the VCT Americas League in what some are dubbing the last chance for the former GOAT of North America. Today we'll talk about Yay, Potter, and the new additions to Evil Geniuses, and what this all means for the roster that struggled post-2023 champions. Evil Geniuses as an org has always been perceived as a somewhat cheap organization, and one that doesn't have the best track record when it comes to winning teams. They have relied heavily on Potter's ability to form rosters that seem to be underdogs. In the first year of franchising, we saw this as Potter elevated Bustio, Calm, Jajimo, and Demon 1 to become the first ever champions of the partnership era. When it was time for EG to pay their players or let them go, they decided to lock the roster into contract jail until teams forked a buyout for their contracts. In 2024, we would see the org ask for the impossible to happen again from Potter and Jajimo, with them only having one remaining player from the championship winning team. They added Nature, Supamen, Derrek from 100 Thieves, and Apoth. While Potter and Jajimo tried their best to carry the team into a playoff berth at the kickoff stage, and in stage 1, they would fall short at every turn. At kickoff, they would be eliminated by Loud, and despite beating NRG and Sentinels in stage 1, they would pick up momentum too late into the season and would lose to G2, Cloud9, and Crew in the earlier parts. Stage 2, EG would start off hot by beating Loud and Furia, but would struggle against Leviathan and 100 Thieves, and to make things even worse, the team that granted them their miracle run in MIBR in the previous year would be the ones to deny them entry, upsetting them 2-0. EG, heading into the offseason, knew that they were in trouble as NRG were in search for a new head coach and G2 were looking for a dive duelist for their roster. And if you'd like to know who became the coach of NRG, you can check out this video right here where we talk about the drama between Chet and Bonker, Marv's crash out, and the new additions to the roster. It seemed like the remaining pillars of the Champs EG roster were about to leave the team, and the community was half right, as Jajimo would join G2, replacing Icy. Potter, on the other hand, would stay with Evil Geniuses and continue to build on top of the roster that she had assembled. EG would retain Supamen, Derrek, and Nature. Who would join the org was incredibly up in the air, as we kept hearing rumors of several different talents trialing for the roster. Finally, the rumors would circle around two players, Yay and Sym. Sym would be the duelist player for TSM at the beginning of the Challengers year, and before that would be part of Moist Moguls in the previous year and Breakthrough before that. TSM would start their year out slow as they would only win 2 of their matches against Winthrop University and Dobros and would fall to M80, Turtle Troop, and SAD Esport, but would squeeze into the Challengers Mid-Season Cup where they would beat YFP. They would be beat by the veteran team roster. Stage 2 seemed like TSM would live up to their name, with more middling performances by losing to Oxygen, Fluffy Gamers, and MXS, but beating Blinn, QRR, and YFP. This qualified them to the Ascensions Tournament Qualifier, where they would keep it close with M80 despite a 2-0. This would be the start of TSM's incredible lower bracket run, where they would beat SAD Esports, Blinn University, and they would upset Oxygen Esports with a 2-0 win. And in the knockout of the next match, they would beat the darlings of the tournament in Moist X Shopify. And this would qualify them as the number 2 seed of North America for the Ascensions tournament. In Mexico, TSM wouldn't do much aside from beating Galroy's. They would lose 4 back-to-back matches, all being 2-1 scorelines to Reta Esports, 2Game, M80, and All Knights, ending their Ascension run. In the matches versus Galroy's, 2Game, and All Knights, Sym would drop a monstrous 70 kill on each of those games, and this is what might have caught the eye of Evil Geniuses to sign him. Now let's talk about who you're really here for. My favorite player of all time, El Diablo, Yay. Yay is mostly known for his time on the Optic Gaming roster, alongside FNS, Crashies, Victor, and Marv. In 2022, they would capture the Masters Reykjavik trophy, place 3rd at Copenhagen, and 2nd at Champions Istanbul. Yay would win the Esports Player of the Year, beating out Chovy from League and Simple from CSGO. He signed a $1 million contract to play with Cloud9 for the 2023 season. And after a subpar performance at Lock-In, losing to DRX, Cloud9 would announce that they would depart with Yay after only 2 games, leaving fans in shock. it would ultimately be uncovered that Cloud9 could no longer pay Yay his salary due to them losing a major sponsor. This would mean that Yay was locked out of signing with any Tier 1 team. Yay had a choice to either sit out or try to find a Tier 2 team. And he would find that team in DSG, who had been struggling prior to his signing. But this would put a massive amount of eyes on DSG, and some of the new players didn't know how to handle the spotlight and the expectations, causing a very dysfunctional team that would not win a single game in Challengers. Yay would remain silent the rest of the year, up to the point where he would sign with Bleed Esports. Bleed, who had just won the Ascensions tournament, had lost Juicy because of the age restriction of Tier 1. Bleed would not do well. The team wouldn't win a single match. Yay was not only not good at his dive role that Victor used to play for him, but he was also not good at supporting with agents like Sky and Viper. The negative criticism didn't stop either, as Crazy Guy from Bleed would also trash talk his own teammate, which Yay quickly responded to in a statement calling out the player for his inappropriate behavior and lack of professionalism. And if it wasn't enough, Steel and Gangsta would also join in on berating him by leaking VODs of DSG scrims.
Roller smoke up here.
Okay, you can fucking laugh all you want, bro, but it's so tilting when you make the same fucking mistakes in matches.
What the fuck?
Alright, I'm getting active.
The community as a whole would have to come out and defend Yay, and we would finally see Yay's first win in VCT since his first match with Cloud9 against Detonation Focus Me in week 3 of stage 1. We would later find out via several podcasts that the tensions in Bleed were not only high amongst players, but management was not helping either, and Yay would take a mental health break.
I remember we were like scrimming and stuff like that, and like some of the managers would like come in and it's like, yeah, look at what all these VLL comments are saying about you. And like the team, I'm like, bro, I don't want to read that. It's like they're all these guys are talking so much shit, and it's just like, oh man, I don't, I don't want that kind of thing.
Eventually, Yay would return to North America and start streaming again on a weekly basis, this time playing on the Sentinel role. The streams would suddenly stop, and this got people talking about the possibility of Yay scrimming with the team. And after some leaks, we would find out that Yay was indeed playing with Evil Geniuses. Many people see this as Yay's final opportunity in Tier 1. He's gone from beloved player at the top of the mountain in Valorant to underperforming with Tier 2 teams and struggling with overseas teams. We saw Yay start play with the new EG roster in the Sen City Classic, where we saw him playing a lot of Vice and splashes of Astra and Cypher. And while Yay still hasn't fully shown his El Diablo persona, there are still flashes of what made him great. There are several instances like in the match versus Sentinels where Yay would go 21-16 and even had highlights throughout the tournament. We would also get to see the man himself with Potter talk about the team's dynamic and how 2022's favorite player is feeling.
It's been a little bit unlucky. I mean, obviously, I have to take personal responsibility at some point for like some of the stuff. Like it all can't just be like unlucky, but there's been some unlucky situations and some areas that, I like to think I've improved on. So I'm hoping for at least this year to be a better year.
Yeah,
respect for that answer.
There you go.
What do you think about Ye's situation and his performance in the Sen City Classic? Let me know in the comments below. I, for once, am just glad to see my favorite player playing again in Tier 1 and would love to see him be revitalized by the role change to Sentinel. EG, I think, is the perfect opportunity for Yay, as he will be paired up with one of the best coaches in VCT with Potter, and some solid talent in Nature, Supamen, Derrek, and the addition of Sym. Is this a championship winning roster? No, but I would just like to see Yay and company prove that they belong in the Tier 1 space. Hey, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, how about checking out another video, like the replacements for Tens and Saucy, or this one about Team Vitality and Carmine Core assembling super teams. And if you like this video, a like, a comment, and a subscription helps me out a lot. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.